Thanksgiving is all about gratitude, right? Most people are thankful for family, friends, or the incredible food on the table. And of course, I am thankful for those things too. But this year, my biggest thank you goes to something a little unexpected, which is music, nature, and how they help me understand how to nurture my body. I know it sounds a bit surprising, but honestly, these three didn't just help me feel better, they completely transformed the way I see myself, my health, and my connection to the world around me. Let me tell you how it all came together. It's a journey that changed everything for me. If you have been following me, you have probably heard about my journey on how I battled hypertension, prediabetes, and reversed them, and of course, how I lost more than 100 pounds naturally. But there is so much more I haven't shared yet. I haven't talked about my struggles with depression, anxiety, GERD, or sleep apnea. At least not yet. To be honest, making those videos is little uncomfortable because it means revisiting some of the darkest, hardest moments of my life. But I know there are people out there searching for hope, for answers, and helping others heal. That's my purpose. So even though I haven't shared it yet, I will do it soon. Because if my story helps even one person step out of the darkness, it's all worth it. Today, I want to share a little bit about what depression felt like for me. I believe depression didn't happen overnight. It was a culmination of so many things from my past that piled up over time. And this is what it looked like. As you know, I was 240 pounds, about 109, 110 kgs, and with that came the strange looks, the unspoken judgment, and the constant advice from everyone around me. Everyone kept saying the same thing: you need to lose weight, try this, do that. And while I know they meant well, it didn't feel good. Hearing it again and again didn't motivate me. It made me feel worse. I felt like no matter what I did, I wasn't enough. I got tired of hearing it that I stopped meeting people altogether. I skipped gatherings, avoided outings, and stayed in my little bubble because it felt safer. I didn't want to hear the comments, even if they came from love. And exercise, let me be real here. It was complicated relationship. I love the idea of it. I wanted to feel strong and healthy, but the reality, it just made me feel worse. I would drag myself to the gym thinking this time it will help. But after every session, I would eat double, like I was trying to reward myself or fill some emotional gap. It was frustrating, and walking, I hated it. I would force myself to go, but I was always alone, and my knees would ache so badly with every step. All I would think about was the pain and how far I still had to go. Instead of making me feel better, it just made me feel lonelier and more defeated. I was stuck in this cycle and it felt like there was no way out. It's strange, isn't it, to be surrounded by people and still feel completely alone? That's what depression did to me. It isolated me not just from others but from myself. I would spend my days sitting on couch watching TV, no work motivation, taking a lot of work stress, and eating out every single day thinking it might bring me some kind of comfort, but it never did. And the worst part, I was angry. Angry at myself for being stuck, for not being able to change, not being able to do anything, and angry at others for not understanding what I was going through. It was this cycle I couldn't escape, and with each day, I felt more and more lost. My blood pressure was so bad that my doctors had me check it 3 times a day: morning, afternoon, and evening. They wanted to monitor it constantly because things were just that serious. And then one afternoon, something completely random happened. I was scrolling through YouTube trying to distract myself before taking my blood pressure when I stumbled on a performance by a famous Indian classical vocalist. By now, you have probably guessed who it was. At first, I didn't think much of it. I mean, classical music wasn't really my thing. But for some reason, I clicked play, and as soon as the music began, it was like something clicked inside me. It's hard to put into words, but it felt like the notes were speaking directly to me. They weren't just sounds, they were emotions, soothing, grounding, and I felt alive. For the first time in ages, my mind wasn't racing. I was not overwhelmed by worry or self doubt. I was just present. It felt like the music reached into my soul and whispered, "It's okay. You are okay." And then it hit me. This music had been a part of my life before. My mom is an Indian classical singer, and growing up, I was surrounded by it. But back then, I never paid attention. I was too weighted down by people comparing and judgments, hearing things like, "Your mom is a singer, why don't you do this? Why aren't you like her?" etc. And I also saw the struggles she faced as an artist, and it made me want to stay as far as away from it as possible. But in that moment, listening to that performance, all of that melted away. I wasn't thinking about the past or the judgments. I was just in the music. After that, I couldn't stop. I started exploring more ragas, more melodies, and every time I listened, I felt a shift. My breathing slowed down, my stress eased, and my mind felt lighter. What started as a curiosity quickly turned into longing, and before I knew it, I made a decision that changed everything. I decided to start Indian classical music myself. And now you know how it all began, how music came back into my life and became such an important part of my healing journey. You might be wondering, how did music actually help me heal? Before I get into that, let me tell you what really caught my attention early on. When I started listening to Indian classical music, I felt something shifted inside me. I actually didn't just felt calmer, I felt better. And here is the crazy part. Every time I listened to it and then checked my blood pressure, the numbers were lower than the usual. Let me tell you, I'm an engineer and a cybersecurity professional. So, of course, my scientific mind kicked in. I couldn't just accept it at face value. I had to know why this was happening. Why did music make me feel this way? Why was my blood pressure improving? So I dove into the research, and what I found blew me away. Studies show that certain type of music can lower your heart rate, reduce cortisol level, that's our stress hormone, and even improve focus. Indian classical music, with its specific ragas, has been scientifically proven to calm the nervous system and bring the body into balance. Once I saw the evidence, I started trusting the process even more. But it wasn't just about listening. I wanted to learn. That's when I decided to opt to learn under Mahesh Kare School of Music, the very vocalist whose video had sparked this journey. And let me tell you, the warm ups in his classes were not just about singing, they were about self awareness. He once said something in the class that changed my perspective, and it has been with me forever. He said, "Observe how you sing a single note. If it's steady, your mind is steady. If it is shaky, your thoughts are distracted." That simple idea was life changing. It made me aware for the very first time I could actually observe my thoughts. Singing became my meditation, a way to clear my mind, focus, and understand what's really going on inside me. With this awareness, my healing truly began. I started noticing how my body and mind felt in different moments, and that changed everything. Suddenly, I was not just eating to fill a void, I became creative in the kitchen. I started experimenting with healthier recipes, turning into comfort foods, into meals that nourished me. Cooking became an act of self love instead of just another chore. Even with walking, which I used to hate, became something I looked forward to. Instead of focusing on the pain in my knees, I started noticing the beauty around me. The rhythm of my steps, the sound of birds, the gentle rustling of leaves, gratitude began to flow into my life in ways I never expected. So, music helped me see the world differently. I started hearing melodies in the rain, rhythms in my breathing, and even found joy in simple act of stirring a pot of soup. It reconnected me with myself and the world around me. So when people ask me how music helped me heal, I tell them this: it was not just the music itself, it was what the music awakened in me: awareness, creativity, and gratitude. And that's what truly started my journey to healing. So, what can you take from my journey? Here is what I would say: start by becoming aware of your thoughts, your feelings, and the small things around you. Whether it's music, nature, cooking, or just sitting quietly with yourself, find that one thing that helps you reconnect and trust the process. Healing doesn't happen overnight, but every small step counts. This is just a small nugget, I would say, of my journey. If you would like to hear more about a specific part that I discussed today, whether it's how I dealt with depression, how music became my meditation, or even how I developed healthier habits, or anything that comes to your mind, let me know in the comments section. I would love to hear from you. Before I sign off, I also want to share something special. I asked a few of my friends from my Indian classical music class to share their thoughts on how music has touched their lives. They said some truly beautiful things, and I would love for you to listen to their perspectives. It's a reminder of how deeply music connects us all. Thank you so much for staying with me until now. If you found this video helpful or inspiring, please give it a like, share it with someone who might need it, and subscribe to my channel, which is an experiment with self. I would love for you to be a part of the journey going on. Until next time, take care and keep finding the music in your life.
Hello everyone, I'm Priyanshi and I'm here to share my musical journey with you all. For me, music is more than just sounds, it's the heartbeat of happiness and source of inner peace to me. So it lifts me, calms me, and connects my soul to the universe. What I most love about the music is that it's not just in the instruments and the songs, it's everywhere, from the waves crashing, birds chirping, and leaves rustling in the wind, to the silence of the night. Nature composes its symphony. I believe music is a gift from the nature, present within all of us, waiting to be discovered. Take a moment of silence, listen deeply, and you all will find it too. May you all find joy in this beautiful gift of life. Thank you so much.
Indian classical music is like a place of retreat for me. Its intricate melodies and soothing rhythms wash over me and calm my mind. Losing myself in the beauty of a rag is like inviting peace to sit right beside me. Each rag, with its unique blend of notes and timings, takes me on a journey of self discovery. I feel a deep connection to the emotions that a rag evokes, whether it's the serene tranquility of a morning rag or the passionate intensity of an evening one. And what truly amazes me is the timeless quality of this music. Every time I listen, it feels fresh and invigorating. It's a constant source of healing, and I always return to it, feeling refreshed and centered and grounded.